around the Flagstaff area or overgrazing. There's a reason that the Organic Act for the Forest Service says that the National Forest will be managed to improve and protect the forest, secure favorable conditions of water flow, and furnish a continuous supply of timber. That's because before it was regulated, we had the tragedy of the commons. We had steep slope logging, overgrazing that resulted in flooding, loss of productive soil. So this was the answer of the United States, the people of the United States, that we need to set aside some of these areas and manage them for multiple use. So that was really done late 19th century. Go ahead. Skip that one. Skip the next two or three. You're going to hear more about this from your legal speaker. Go ahead. So, enough about nice photographs. Let's have a cartoon. This is a cartoon from 1907, 1908, and I include this in the presentation to show that this is not a new debate. This debate dates back to the original reservation of national forests and dedication of national parks. The debate is, well, what amount should be set aside? What amount should be protected for conservation and preservation? What amount should go to economic use? So what we have here is Gifford Pinchot seated in his throne with his Cossack Rangers. And I guess at the time that was a great insult. And they're riding roughshod over settlers, miners, stockmen, etc. So, and if you look at a few of the rules and regulations, the last one is wildlife is more important than settlers' needs. All stockmen must pay a head tax. So this debate has been ongoing. It is a legitimate debate. I am from the Forest Service. I take no position on any legislation in front of Congress or this political question. This is my way of saying that it is a legitimate debate that's been going on for well more than a century. What's the appropriate mix of public lands? What's the appropriate mix between preservation and economic use? Next slide. This is a national map. You've seen a bunch of these already. Just to point out a few things. Some of the states with the highest ratio of federal lands also have a large percentage of Indian reservations and Department of Defense lands. Generally, Nevada's one. New Mexico is one too. White Sands Missile Range, which is in the bottom center of New Mexico, is a significant part of the state. So each state that's looking at this is looking at a different mix of what they would like transferred. Generally, people are talking about BLM and Forest Service lands. With very few exceptions is anyone seriously studying the transfer of national parks, Indian reservations, or DOD lands. So I thought I'd just make that point. A little bit about the region. Here's who we are and what we do. We have 20 million acres that we manage. That's not an even split between the states. It's a little more than 11 million in Arizona, around 9 in New Mexico, and then we have the grasslands out to Oklahoma and Texas. We have 56,000 miles of roads. The most common public comment about those is they're not maintained well enough. We have a lot of the major streams, perennial waters, the lakes, more than 600 established camping areas. This is not dispersed recreation, these are campsites officially. 45 ski lifts spread among the ski areas across the region. A little bit less than 3 million acres of wilderness. We have 50-some wilderness areas in the two states. For those who are sort of writing this down, this is available on Region 3's website. If you go to Forest Service Southwestern Region and click on the link about the region, you can pull all this up, including the map. We have a lot of fishing habitat in both states. This is your headwaters. This is where clean water comes from to supply many municipalities in these two states. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the practical issues. If you're looking at acquiring a new business, or you're looking at buying a large plot of land, these are the kind of issues you ask. Well, what are the pros and cons? And what do I get if I took this? What are your liabilities? What are your assets? What's your customer base? So I thought I'd talk about that a little bit. We got a lot of legacy contamination across the Southwest. A lot of mine sites that we're still cleaning up. We have a lot of legal restrictions on our land use. Critical habitat for endangered species, Lotus Act designation, other preservation-related laws. We have a lot of public expectation in public lands. It is generally for free goods and services, used at no cost or very low cost. We don't charge to geocache. You can go out today and geocache. You can hunt for free. You can fish for free. You can hike for free. You can camp for free at dispersed sites, and even some developed sites. That's what our American public of 300 million people expect on these 20 million acres. And that's what we provide. Sometimes we do charge a fee, and I'll talk about some of these a little bit later, but often it's very low cost. Many of our small communities in the Southwest rely on fuel wood for cooking, heating, subsistence level use. It's very low cost for them, and it comes from the national forest. We also provide ecosystem services, which are not monetized. Many of your municipalities in New Mexico and Arizona, they receive their clean water for drinking and municipal use from watershed on the national forest. We provide that service free of charge. Wait, go back.
Sorry.
Okay, so that's what our customer base wants. A little bit more about some of our encumbrances. We're covered with mining claims. We have all sorts of people who own parts of us already. Thousands of mining claims across the Southwest, many active mines. Lots of outstanding right-of-ways where people have senior rights in federal land. That's for ditches and canals, what's called RS 2339 rights. That's revised statute 2339, that was part of the mining law. RS 2477 rights, if you don't know what that is, that was the ability of local governments to own a road through what at the time was simply public lands. We have maybe hundreds of these. I don't think we've fully documented. We have a lot of water rights, a lot of points of diversion where people have pre-existing senior rights on our lands, a lot of municipal infrastructure, Flagstaff municipal watershed, Santa Fe municipal watershed, I can go on. A lot of utility infrastructure, power lines, water lines, etc. Aboriginal rights, which is a fancy way of saying rights of Native American tribes to our land that may be superior to others' rights. Now we go to the next slide. So what does it cost to run the southwestern region? This is another question I get. Well, it's about $200 million a year. That's just a round figure. I've got each forest broken out here, a couple years. Again, that's not an even split. It's conveniently what, about $10 million per million acres. So you're looking at about $110, $120 million that goes into running forests in Arizona. That's the federal input. This issue often comes up because people say, well, the western states are winners. They pay fewer federal taxes and receive way more in federal influx of dollars. Well, I cannot speak for the other agencies, but I can speak for us. This is the influx of federal dollars that comes in to run the Forest Service. This excludes the regional office, which I'm part of. We don't matter here. This is really just on-the-ground money that goes to the Forest Service employees that live in your community, work that's done in your forest, etc. Okay, next slide. This question often comes up. What would happen if you transfer federal lands? What about these other federal subsidies or payments that are received? So I have some round figures here. Don't trust me, look it up at these websites. Okay, on everything I say here, I've included a citation. These are round figures. It fluctuates from year to year. You've heard that already, but these are the dollars. So if you're not familiar with what PILT is, that's payment in lieu of taxes. That is a federal statute. It's a program designed to offset the economic burden of having federal lands in your county. A county cannot tax federal lands like they can tax private lands. So those counties with large percentages of federal lands have a much smaller tax base. And so this federal program was designed to make up for that and offset it. Now, the response to that is that's not nearly as much as we would get if we had a private land that could tax it, but here's the amount, good or bad, right or wrong, that goes to each state. Secure Rural Schools is another program. The Forest Enabling Act provides that a certain percentage of timber revenue would go to state and local economies. Well, at one time, we had a lot more timber than we do now. There's been a significant reduction in active silviculture and timber receipts. So Secure Rural Schools was brought in as a bridge program, as a gap, to sort of make up for that loss in receipts and make some of that up. It's still in effect. There's the amount, gross dollars, that New Mexico and Arizona receive. If you want to know how much each individual county gets, you can go to these websites. You can sort it by county, by national forest, etc. Details. This is the next question I get: fire suppression costs. The federal government works as something of an insurance pool, a risk liability pool for wildfire suppression costs. Typically, when we're having bad fires in the Southwest, it's not a bad fire season up north, and vice versa. But to give you some round figures of how much it costs to fight fire, how much we invest in that, here are some numbers. This is not included in the regional budget figures again. Okay, this is simply an add-on. So you'll see in a bad year, for example, 2011, in the state of Arizona, we spent more than $200 million for wildfire suppression costs. So you're looking at the roll of fire, other big fires that drive those numbers, and you can see the large numbers on the Apache Sick Reefs. It's more than $100 million that year. So it varies substantially from maybe only $20 million a year to $200 million. So that's a practical issue here. How would a state plan for that? In one year, maybe it's only 10 to 20 million. Another year, it's 10 times that amount. Having some national pool does offset some of that. So another issue that usually comes up with this transfer is the response that, well, we can pay for all of this with increased revenue. In some cases that may be true, some cases not, so I'm going to throw out some facts and figures there. To be clear, the national forests are managed currently for multiple use. It is our mission to maximize public benefit through the maximum provision of multiple use, not maximize revenue. So in some cases on national forest lands, non-economic uses are the predominant use. Wilderness areas are a good example. Clean water, okay, municipal watersheds, wildlife habitat. That's for game species, non-game species, threatened and endangered species. Sometimes those habitat considerations trump the economic use of the land, and also the recreational opportunities, which are generally free. I should have put geocaching here. If I would have known that was going to be the topic of the day, I would have put 3 geocaching here. Anyway, that's not the case with state lands, and you already heard that this morning, that they have a mission. It's a trust obligation, generally to maximize revenue for schools. And if you want to read their mission statements, here are the links. Again, the Mexico State Land Office is not here, so you go to their webpage and they can explain it from their perspective. And that's not to say that there's no environmental protection on state lands. There is. There's state law, there's consideration given to it. But it's not the same as the federal government, where sometimes non-economic use takes strict control over the economic use. So I just want to take one example of an income stream and talk about it. Not only am I the wildlife director for the region, but I'm also the range management director for the southwestern region. A few quick facts. We have between 1,300 to 1,400 grazing permittees in the region. It's about 350 or so in the state of Arizona, pushing on 400, depends on the day. We have about 95% of those 20 million acres is subject to some form of grazing. It may not be year-long, it may be limited seasonal use, but about 95% is subject to grazing. Here are the fees. I pulled this from their website, so I will pull this from the State Land Office website. So I hope it's correct. I couldn't find the 2015 fees, but here's a comparison. You know, again, our mission is not to maximize revenue, it's to provide for more communities. Congress sets our grazing fees. So on federal lands, here's what we charge for a few years. In 2014, $1.35 an animal unit. That's grossly one cow-calf unit out there for 1 month. Arizona charged $2.78. It's about twice the price. New Mexico State Land Office $3.99. Fees have gone up, but it looks to me like it usually runs historically about twice as much in the state of Arizona, about 3 times as much in the state of New Mexico. So, my mission is not to maximize revenue. If Congress changed it, and it was, you would expect the federal government to have fees much closer to this. But there's an economic consequence for that. Most of my grazing permittees are small businesses, small farmers. And if you double or triple their grazing fees, that's going to have an effect on them. So there's always a cost benefit on this. I did not include oil and gas leases. That's another one that often comes up. Ironically, recently we were receiving more for federal and gas leases in New Mexico than the state because of the way the state has something of a favorable pricing mechanism for oil and gas leasing in the state. I will say that just about everything that can be produced in the state of Arizona and New Mexico on Forest Service lands has been leased. There's really no new land to be leased. And what's out there, people have bid on. The prices low like they are, you're not going to see increased revenue. There's often a lot of debate about, well, you know, maybe it's worth it. Maybe I want to pay 2 or 3 times the cost. I don't know if you feds, you know, if you finger my business running my permit. Both states have a website that talks about how they manage grazing. It's remarkably similar between the states and feds in terms of who owns the water rights, how do you get right for improvements, how do you obtain lease, etc. What is really different for the federal government is the heightened public input and public scrutiny. Everything we do is subject to public comment, public input. That's not so easy to take sometimes when you're a small businessman and other people are looking at your grazing practices. But that heightened level of scrutiny allows us to get it right, to maximize benefits to everyone, to preserve wildlife habitat and endangered species habitat, while providing for a reasonable amount of grazing. So that is a big difference between the federal government manages their grazing operations and the state. And the same would apply for mining, oil and gas, etc. So I want to talk a little bit about other mechanisms, besides just taking the land into state hands, other mechanisms that can be used to meet some of the same goals that have been talked about today. Collaborative forest restoration projects is a special statute that predominantly applies in New Mexico. We've got a number of those. We've heard about some projects over in Arizona today that follow suit. Forefront, one of the largest restoration projects in the country, treating millions of acres. It took a long time to get there. Large working group, but the end product of all that effort was very high quality. We have other working groups like that in New Mexico. Southwest Hayman's project is another example. These collaborative projects where you bring together people from state, local government, environmental organizations, wildlife organizations, try to work together to find common ground for how do we restore our forests, provide for fire resiliency, protect our lands, do it in an environmentally acceptable way and an economic way. Okay, on Fry, they're paying us, right? Taxpayers aren't investing hundreds of dollars per acre. They're paying us. It takes some time to work out the economics. It takes some time to rebuild the industry that was not here to do these level of treatments. But the Forest Service is pursuing these progressively in both states. Cooperating agency status. State and local governments can have a special status underneath it where they can have a seat at the table and help collaborate in creating a project that meets their needs. Some good examples of this would be Santa Fe Watershed Protection Project, the Flagstaff Watershed Protection Project, where the local governments are actually assisting financially, they're paying for the project, so they recognize the value of that municipal watershed being worked out on the ground. There are other options to deal with some of the unique issues. Land ownership adjustment. Every year we have a new bill that goes through Congress tweaking land ownership, give some land to a municipality, take it out for other use. We can do direct sales through Town Site Act or Small Tract Act to municipalities. Need a sewage treatment plant? Here's $5. Forest plan revision. Most of you Arizona forests have gone or are going through forest plan revision. It's another opportunity for public input on how you would like your lands managed. So don't take my word for it, go look it up yourself. It's a great resource. I've got 4 Congressional Research Service publications here. They are an independent investigative arm of Congress. A lot of detail on history of public lands and this issue of public lands transfer.
Yeah, if you have any issues with hearing or any other distractions, please talk to Melanie. She'll be in the back and we can work on that. So please enjoy your break. We will be back here promptly at 9:45.
Number 1.